I I literally just learned you can do this. Like this is crazy. I wonder. Oh, this is dope. Oh yeah. It's makes it so much easier because you could just boom. And that's the one thing I don't like about other platforms is like the one other platform in particular is that you gotta have so many followers. I'm like I sh- I struggle on that platform. I'll be struggling, but this is dope because uh, I wonder if anybody I know is gonna come in. But look, I'm sitting here with my baby. Look at, isn't she beautiful? She's wondering why I am sitting next to her and taking her space. Like she did have the whole couch to herself, but she's wondering why. What the hell, Dad? What are you doing here? What are you doing here, Dad? Like I was laying here by myself. This is dope. So literally, I just learned that you could do this. I literally just learned that this was even a thing. I'm like, the problem with lives is that you gotta have like unless you have a huge audience or like some. I feel like it's hard to go like on a when you're do it the traditional way. But I was scrolling through shorts, which is something I rarely do, and came across some lives, and I was like, oh shit, like you could do that on YouTube, like that's a they have vertical lives now. I was reading that you can go live like the landscape and vertically at the same time, but I was like, huh. Let me see if I can share this out. Let me see if my people's. Well, I don't know why I just shared it with my wife. She's at work. Maybe I don't know. Did that work? Like, hello, what's going on, peoples? I'm a new guy at this. Like, I just learned that you can literally do this. I literally just learned this like 5 minutes ago, and I was like, oh shit, you can go live through shorts. Like, that's amazing. So what's going on? What's up with you guys on a what's today? Wednesday? Hump day? What's going on? I've been running around all morning. Yeah, I'm telling you, I've literally, I'm an immigrant when it comes to social media. So like I always find out things 10 months after they happen. Like, and I was scrolling through shorts and I came across somebody's live, like it happens on the Talk app, and I was like, oh shit, you can do that. And I had to Google it, and I was like, oh damn, like you can literally do that. Luke McCloy, what's going on, brother? High five, fist bump to you. I am in North Carolina. Hello, Miss Carolyn. Ducky man, you having a great day? Yeah, I'm having. I woke up feeling like crap today. I didn't go to the gym because I was not feeling good. But I work is work. So I started making content and doing things and fighting with my stove because I'm a new cook. So how's everybody doing though? Like, what's going on? Like, I'm new to this, so I'm sorry that if I look or sound awkward or whatever. But I've made tons of videos, but live isn't something that I frequent. So it's a new thing to me. But how's everybody doing? Michael Page in Minnesota, holla. Minnesota, like, whew, y'all be having some cold ass winters up there. I had a buddy in the military when I was in the military that was from Minnesota. The stories he used to tell me, like I'm originally from New York, and I hear it's much colder in Minnesota. But what's going on, man? Like, my name is Carlos, by the way. If anybody doesn't, I don't know how many of you are subscribers already to my channel, if you guys are, but if not, I thank you for all being here. Negative 50 degree. Hell, that's the type of shit like if you fart, like it gets frozen in your pants and then melts later when you come into the house and warm up. Michael, I'm in North Carolina. I am like mid south. Well, happy birthday. I don't know how to say in Almeida. I apologize if I'm pronouncing that wrong, but happy birthday. What's going on? I'm here with my 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 little my little girl who was sitting on this couch where I am, and I came to sit next to her, and she got mad and left. She was like, I don't want to be in that shit. Oh, you're at the top of Minnesota. Top. You're at the top of Minnesota. Oh, it's cold as shit up there, I'm sure. Are you experiencing the heat wave like we are? I mean, I'm knowing I'm in the South, but like, it's been like 100 degrees in North Carolina the last few days. Like, how hot has it been getting? How hot has it been getting in Minnesota? Like, how hot? Like, what's a range of temperature that it gets that high up there? I appreciate the likes, guys. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. 78 degrees. Oh man. Like that sounds amazing right now. You're high? I wish, homie. I wish. I wish. I quit a year ago. Last July I quit. I been smoking all my life, but I quit. I was like, I need life is in a new direction or trying to be, and I was like, I guess like certain things I have to give up and stuff like that. So I don't know. Forgive me, Lily, but I don't know what that means. I'm sorry. Like I said, I'm not a veteran at this. This is literally my first time going live vertically like this. I've tried it, the conventional way a few times, and it was all right. But you're gonna get a hamster? Oh, that's awesome. You started back, Michael. Yeah, I hear you. And don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that I don't want to, because Lord, my neighbors be whew. And every time I smell it, I'm like, oh my God, bro. But I'm like, I'm like I said, I'm trying to go off on my own, and you can't be, you never know who you're gonna meet and who you're gonna talk to and stuff like that. So I'm like, I gotta try to thug it out and not But boy, man, it is so tempting. And the only thing that when I lived in Florida, I lived in Florida briefly for some time, and I had a card. I had a medical card, so it was not a big deal. But once I came back to North Carolina, I didn't move back to the same place I used to live. So you don't know anybody, and these days you can't just get him for some random person. So that's probably another reason that I haven't done it, because I don't know who to trust. I feel you. Well, I am. Oh, you're from Pensacola, Florida? Mida, you're 67. That's awesome. Senior in the house. Hell yeah. I am. I am. I am what they call what I have dubbed economically retired. So I don't have to worry about that no more. Unfortunately, it wasn't my choice, but that's the way things turned out. So luckily I had some things work in my favor, so it's not really a big deal, but that's how life played out. So, but this is so cool. All right, let me see if I can get. Okay, so send, and then so I was accidentally on here. I was on here. I started this, and then I accidentally wound up in like the message thing, and I didn't know how to get back. So like I literally had to close the app, and then uh I literally had to close the app and then come back into it because I didn't know, and luckily there was a resume option, so that's how I got back in here. But I didn't know how to bet. Like I'm not really technically apt. Like I'm not that kind of guy. Um, like all this stuff is like really foreign to me. As a matter of fact, everything I know, I learned from my daughter, who hoping comes in here. But other than that, like there she goes. I was just talking about you, beautiful. Hello. How was the gym? I miss those guys. I know. I that's what I'm saying. Like I was just talking about you. I was like, I miss my daughter. Where's she at? I hope she comes in here. Is there a delay? I wonder if there's a delay. I should look on my other phone and put it on to see if there's another thing. But yeah, I see you. I know. I see you. I feel relieved now that you're here because I feel so like awkward because lives are. I don't do them enough to be like in a video. You video when you video like you control the tempo, you control everything, and then you edit so you get to put out what you want people to put out. With live is like, oh shit, I just said that and now I gotta live with it. You walked 4 miles today. That's awesome. Were you with Miss Myrtle? Was Miss Myrtle rocking with you? At least for a little bit. I know I'm sure she didn't walk the whole 4 miles, but did you happen to go into the gym today too? I mean, into the pool area? Hello, my gorgeous. Hi. So I just learned that you could do this. That's why I'm doing it. I just learned. Like I was scrolling on shorts and I came across somebody's live, like just like you can do on, the Talk app. And I was like, oh shit, like that's a thing. So I had to ask Brett. I was like, I just did that. Like that's a thing. And he was like, yeah, dude. Like, so of course, like everything else on social media, this has been going on for like a year or so, and I just learned that. I'm like, oh, she walked a mile with you, 2 miles, awesome. Why you finish? Of course, you have to finish your book. That's the way to do it. So I want you to know that I was sitting here. Harley was sitting here, laid out on the couch, and I thought that I would go live next to her, my beautiful dog, and she got mad and left. She was like, "Ah, I didn't ask for this shit. I'm out." So literally, like I said, I literally just learned. Like I've been on 13 minutes and 30 seconds right now, and I found this out 13 minutes and 30 and 14 minutes ago. I was like, oh shit, literally, I didn't know you could do this. So this is cool. So I was like, I gotta see what this is about. Like, and it's so cool because I don't have to worry about making a thumbnail. I don't have to worry about like having somebody to click and then announcing it. I can literally just be like, live. I've been wanting to do this on in the other place, but I don't have the amount of followers to do it there. So, but this is cool. The only thing I like is that you can't play no music or anything like that here. Like that part sucks because copyright. But other than that, at least in the other place, like it's not so strict, so you can at least play some music or some sounds or whatever, so that it sounds. But other than that, I've been I made my pasta today because yesterday there was so much leftovers from what we ate for dinner that I was like I didn't want it to go to waste, so I hooked something up with that. But today I made my pasta, and it was scrumptious. Well, and then I've been like teaching myself how to do things like with social media. Like I was like, oh, like trying to notice some things. Oh, that's how people do this or just do that and stuff like that. So I'm trying to learn. I'm trying to learn. I'm trying to learn. But other than that, I still feel like crap. I don't know if you can hear it in my voice, but I still sound like crap. I feel like crap. And my wife said I look really ridiculous because I shaved my mustache. Yeah, I've been doing that. Like I've drunken a bunch of water, and I was literally laying down before I figured this out. But I figured nobody want to see me lay down, so I was like, but that sounds like a really good idea. Well, the reason being was that if you notice, I didn't get a haircut on Sunday because I couldn't, and but my mustache was long, and your mom had to get out the door because that was on Monday when you had your appointment. So rather than like trying to like groom it and stuff and whatever, I was just like, it's long, and I just shaved it off. I was like, this is so much easier right at the moment. I mean, it's my mustache, so it'll grow back like in by Saturday, it'll be back to normal. But that's why I did it. It was more like in a rush type thing. I was just like, it was so long that it grows so fast in the 2 weeks that literally I could take the hair and put it in my mouth. It grows that long. So I'm like, it was annoying me. And I felt like I had hair in my mouth, which I probably did. I mean, again, we were in a rush because your mom had to go to work, and then I had to get to your house to sit with Boogie. So I was just like, all right, this is solve it right now. Like I said, it's gonna grow back. It's just it'll grow back in like a week. Yeah, she did. She said, "Don't do that shit again." Like she was polite about it too. She was like, "Why'd you do that?" And I explained it to her. I was like, "You don't like it?" She was like, "No, don't do that again." Got it. Gotcha. So I won't do it again. I know next time. But it feels so much better that it's not there. Like oh, absolutely not. I guess I look crazy, don't I? Crazy 1 to 10 scale. Where am I at? Where am I at on the crazy scale? This is dope. I like this. I think I'm gonna do this more often. Go live from my like it's so much easier when you don't have to set up shit and not crazy, just different. I feel you. Yeah, I won't do it again. But it's so much easier when you don't have to set up anything and you can just like I can just grab my phone, hit live, and boom. And the people that used to be in our lives when we used to go live, they don't love me no more. I haven't heard from them in a minute. I just did that. Yeah, saw that? Like that's cool. This is pretty cool. I like this. I'm gonna have to do this. Let me see if I can move it over. Oh, yeah, I can move it over. Let me see if I'm gonna do this more often. There be plenty of times when I'm just sitting here bored as hell. I done vlogged, I done cleaned, I done cooked, and I'm like, "Hey, Miss Maya." Sorry, I'm sure I just blew out all y'all eardrums because I was screaming because I'm dramatic like that. But what up, lady? Yes, don't be typing while you're driving. I don't want to be that kind of creator, but Why did that thing move? And it moved again. I guess it's not supposed to be there. Okay, got it. I just feel like it's like it's like like covers me. But anyway, so yeah, Miss Maya, I literally just learned that I can do this like 20 minutes ago. I learned that I can go live like this, and this is so much easier. And I feel like it's so much more fun. And thank you for the likes. Thank you for the likes. I mean, if you want to support the channel from, hell yeah, I greatly appreciate it. If y'all want to show some love and support the channel. Nice. We got goals. I'm trying to get to Puerto Rico. So if you want to help me out. Anyway, but I've been I just double tapped the screen. Gotcha. No, I just like I said, I learned this. I've been trying to learn some stuff and I've been struggling with my videos lately because there's been a whole like channel identity crisis going on, and it's been like I don't know how many videos you guys have seen, but I've been putting them out nonstop, but not all of them have been doing really well because like I said, I'm still, as long as I've been doing this, I'm still very much learning. Like the whole half the game, if you don't know, half the game on YouTube is like, especially with the long videos, is the marketing side, like having a thumbnail and picking the right title, and I struggle with that. So like I've got a ton of videos on my channel, but because I struggled that with so long that it, I'm not where I feel like I should be. So it's been, but I think I'm on track now. So hopefully things will get better for me. Ah, well, thank you. A high five and fist bump to you, Ms. Maya. Yeah, I've been trying to figure it out. Like I've been trying to figure it out. And if one day, I don't know if she's still in here because she's working, but if you ask Lexi, like the conversations I tell her or the fighting she hears me doing and stuff, that I'm like, because I'm trying to figure this out so that, but I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I'm trying to get better. Everything I've learned from my daughter, V. That's Tori. Everything I've learned from her. So I've been, and she yells at me too. You didn't do this and you didn't do that. And yeah, I'm learning. I didn't grow up with social media. This shit is hard, man. Like, this is hard. This is the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. Thank you, Miss Maya. I appreciate the encouragement. And thanks for still being around after all this time. I appreciate you. Much love. I don't know how to do the heart thing, but like, how do you do that? Something like that. I mean, I know you need both hands, but I'm holding my phone with the other one. But what do y'all think? Pizza thin or crust? I mean, pizza thin or thick crust? It was just something that popped up. It was like, try it. And so I did. So I don't know if y'all can see that. But so what do you think? You think I should do this more often? I'm thinking I should do this more often. It's less formal this way. And, I'll be sitting here. Even when I'm doing stuff, I'm like, oh, I can just go live when I'm doing stuff and just, that would be cool. But today was just me. Thin crust for you, New York style. Ms. Maya, you're from, the way you commented something the other day, and I was like, she has to be from New York. You're from New York, right? You can't. How do you? What happens if you double tap? Like there's no hearts or nothing. Like how do you do? I don't know. I don't know how you do that. How you do that? You're from Jersey. Got it. That's. I mean, that's pretty close enough. My son, my oldest son, lives in Jersey right now, in Jersey City. He lives in Jersey City. My biggest, my biggest issue with Jersey is that I can't pump my own gas. Like that annoys me. I don't know how. I don't know how you Jersey people do it. It was somebody's got to pump your gas for you, but that irks the hell out of me. I hate it. But other than that, but yeah, New York style thin crust pizza. Yeah, I feel like that's the right way to eat pizza. If you're gonna, I'm not a pizza fan anymore. I used to love pizza, but in my last career, like every time there was a reward for something, it was like buy them pizza, buy them pizza. Like so, pizza was something I ate regularly for 10 years, and I'm pizzaed out. I'm pizzaed out. I can't do it. But look, she's over there wondering what the hell. You like the gas pumping in Jersey? Ugh. I can't stand it. Oh my god, that is so annoying to me. And that it's illegal to pump your own gas. Like that's what throws me off. Like it's illegal to pump your own gas. Like I can't get over it. But I mean, I'm not from Jersey, so I don't have to deal with it. I don't have to like that's not something I have to deal with regularly. But every time I stop through there, I'm like, there are times specifically where I'll fill up before or after Jersey just so that I don't have to stop to go through that. Like I made my pasta. It was delicious. Lunch was great. What did y'all have for lunch? What was on the menu for lunch? I made some pasta. Nah, she went outside. Like she didn't have to go, but she was laying on the couch that I'm laying on. And I sat next to her when I started the live. I was like, oh baby, let's go live together. And she got mad and she left. She went over there. She's like, I don't want to do that. I didn't ask to be on live. I was like, guy with a dog, like, people are like that. And she was like, no, thank you. No, thank you. I don't know if any of y'all know who Big Daddy Leo is, but no, thank you. She was like, not having it. She doesn't cuddle with me when her mom's here. I mean, when her mom's not here. When her mom's here, like she wants all my attention. Like I can't talk to mom. I can't. Now all of a sudden she wants to be in my lap, and but when mom's not here, this is exactly what she does. That right there. Like she doesn't even pay me no mind. And that's why I get frustrated when mom comes home that all of a sudden now she wants to be in my lap. I'm like, you didn't want me all day. All day. You didn't want nothing to do with me. Now I'm trying to interact and talk to your mom and be close to your mom. And she's like, no, don't do that. But yes, they're very much like children. I read something the other day when somebody on Reddit, I think it was, or Threads, I can't remember which one, and someone's like, I hate when people call them babies or fur babies. They're not children. Like, why are you mad? I'm like, do you have a dog? No. Then why does it bother you so much? Like, she's my daughter. She's my fur baby. And she acts just like a damn kid on four legs. She acts like a toddler. If you ever had a toddler, that's what dogs are like. if you've never had a dog. If you've had a toddler, little 2-3-year-old running around the house, that's exactly what a dog is like for most of their lives. And she was a boxer, so she was in puppy phase for like 5 years. And even at 7, she still has her moments where, but she's depressed now because mom's not home. Her human is not home. I'm the backup human. I'm the secondary human. I'm the one that's left. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. They need all of that. They need to get fed. They need to go. You need to walk them. They need to go to the doctor, get shots. They want attention. They cry. Yeah, all of that. They do all of that crap. I guess I can take this off now. How do you do this? Okay, I'll take that off. But yeah, they do all of that stuff. So I don't understand how, people are like, they're not like babies. Yeah, all right. But then you must not treat your dog, you know, like people who like dogs treat their dogs. I don't understand why people get a dog and then leave it in the backyard all like we had a neighbor. No, where we knew somebody that had a dog and the dog was always in the backyard. Like that was it. It just lived in the backyard, which is crazy to me. It's like, what's the point? What's the point of having a dog if it doesn't come in the house and you don't let it walk around? Keep it in this one area. Like, that just doesn't make sense to me. Shit, I bought a king size bed so our dog can sleep with us. When she was a puppy, we crated her because she'd have accidents and stuff like in the middle of the night. We don't want it to happen in our bed. But once she got old enough, once she got too big and then old enough to where she wasn't doing that in the middle of the night, like she refused. I think we bought her a bed and she refused to sleep on it. And she laid in the bed with us. And at the time we only had a queen size bed. And if you know Lexi and I, we're bigger folk. So me, Lexi, and Harley wasn't gonna work. Oh, really? I didn't know that. I guess. I don't know. I just don't see the point. I don't see the point of doing it. But I mean, if that's what they do, that's what they do. But I don't see the point. You get a dog and the dog is not part of the family. Like I don't see it. Doesn't make sense to me. But it is what it is. It doesn't need to make sense for me. So, but yeah, she's part of the family here. Like she sleeps in the bed with us. She goes. I take her everywhere I can take her. I take her. Like she has dog food, but we share. If we can share it, and if it isn't gonna make her sick. If it isn't gonna make her sick, I share it. We spend a lot of times googling stuff. Can dogs have this? Like, she's only here for a few years. I don't let her. I do everything. I mean, yeah. Like, why not? Like, why not? Like, I don't understand. Like, if I could afford for Harley, well, first of all, Harley can't. She can't because she's a boxer. She can't fly underneath the cargo and underneath the plane, so she would have to fly. Wait a minute. How do you fly your dog first class? Is it a full size dog like a boxer, or is it something smaller? Because that's something I'm trying to figure out when we finally get to, whenever it is we get to move, is how to get Harley on the plane. And the solutions I've heard so far are not conducive to my bank account. So I wonder how they do that. Like, what airline allows the dog to fly first class? Yeah, I know, but from what I understand, from what I read, on Google, there isn't airlines that allow dogs to come up in the cabin. Because if that's the case, then I would, yeah, hell yeah, I'd buy 2 seats for her so that she can fly in the cabin. But from what I understood, I want to. The next time if you don't mind, can you ask what airline they fly? Because that's very interesting. Because that would solve a huge problem for me. Because the prices I'm hearing I'm hearing like you have to like charter a plane and you have to charter a plane and that's like anywhere from 15 to 25 grand. I'm like, geez, because no airline allows a dog her size to fly in the cabin. But I mean, if it's just a matter of paying for a seat, like I would gladly do that. Again, my dog is family. Like she comes everywhere. We ain't going if my dog can't go. Ah, yeah. See, that's the difference. Yeah, the dog is 4 pounds, but I mean, a 4 pound dog, you don't have to buy a seat for. I'm sure like that dog, the Yorkie. I mean, Lexi had a Yorkie when we met, and I'm sure you can just put the Yorkie in a purse or something and carry on. But if she's buying a plane ticket, if that person is buying a seat, then it's probably because it's too big. Hmm. I'm gonna look into that. You done gave me a little ray of hope because that would make it easier for us to get there when we can. Because I'm like I said, from what I'm hearing, like it's like almost 30 grand just to fly because you have to charter a plane for yourself just to fly a dog. But I would do that. I will most definitely do that. Huh? Yeah, but Harley, I would, but Harley's too like it's not even believable. She's too like rambunctious for that. Like she won't like she'll be constantly trying to climb in our lap and freaking out and stuff. Like she gets anxious real easy. So it's hard to believe that. I know what you meant. I know what you meant. Service dog. Yeah. But she gets anxious too easy. So I mean I could try it, but I'm not sure if it'll work because we have like ID for her and everything, but she's so anxious that I mean she's not aggressive. Like she'll sit with us as long as we're together. Like she'll sit with us, but right? Yeah, I know. They're not allowed to ask. They can only ask what service does she provide in the case of, but that's an idea. That is definitely an idea. I I would definitely did that. Now I just, need to need to get there. But it's something we want to it's something we all want to do. We all want to do that. Well, look. Say hi, Harley. Say hi. Yeah, my, yeah, I'm going. Yeah, I'm going to when the time comes. Like that's something. That's something that has to happen because, like I said, I'm not. We're not leaving our dog. Like we're not leaving her. Like there's no giving her up. Like we gonna have her until her last day. So wherever we go, she's got to be able to go with us. So I'm still trying to figure it out. I'm still still trying to make this channel get to where it needs to be, so that that doesn't that's an option. So something I'm working on. But this is so cool. But is it is it hot outside up there? Yeah, I think so too. Like there's got to be a way to do it. Like there's got to be a way to do it. I'm like, what if you have like I said? I mean, most dogs you would put them in the cargo hold, with the luggage, and you wouldn't think of it. But because she's a boxer, and whatever that brachial something is with her snout, like she can't do it. So, but I say the same thing. I'm like, there's gotta be a way. People with boxers don't take them nowhere. They don't fly them. Like, there's gotta be a way to do it. But like everything I'm hearing, everything I'm searching is like, oh, there's charters and did this and did this, and I'm like, bro, like who's got $25,000? This would be like, and then I'm only going to Puerto Rico. Like it's not like I'm flying to Europe somewhere, or Asia. Like I'm only going to Puerto Rico. It's gonna cost me $25,000 just to fly to Puerto Rico because I want to fly my dog. Like that's crazy. Exactly. I'm like, that is insane. But I don't know. But I want to figure it out because I need to, once I get this, channel to where I want it to be, and that's an option. That's something that me, all of us want to do. Me, the kids, Lexi, like that's where we want to be. She is 66 pounds. So that's something. Uh, that's somewhere we want to go and be. So you know, we're trying to figure it out, man. Shit is not easy. Yeah. You're gonna be on a hunt too. Like, yeah, I look, I try to every time somebody says something, I'm like, oh, let me research that. Let me find that out. Because like I said, I'm not leaving my dog. Like, there's no way she's staying behind. So she's gotta come. And I really want to get there. I even thought about like riding on a like a cargo ship, but the problem is that Lexi knows for a fact she wouldn't be comfortable. And I will never I've never been on a boat that long to know if I would be comfortable. So I don't know. I Ms. Maya, like I would like to hope so, but probably not. Like I said, the only way to the only way to that we can move, the only thing holding us back is that I need to replace Lexi's income. And the only way to replace that is for me to find something that I can do online, for her to find something she can do online, for this channel to grow. And that's why, like, I pitch. I don't know how many if you've seen it in the videos or not, but that's why I pitched my offer or my for the business I'm trying to grow. That's why I'm struggling and making as many videos as I can, because I'm trying to grow it, but it's not easy. And YouTube, like how to grow on social media, like the advice is so vague. It's so vague, and I'm a yeah, exactly. and I'm a immigrant when it comes to social media. Like this is not something that comes naturally or easy to me. So like I struggle, which is crazy because I done studied everything I can study and everything, and I'm at where I'm at, and then I see people that I see people that are younger than me that are kicking ass, and I'm like, they started 4 years after I did, and like, so it's hard. Like I'm sorry, I'm trying to figure it out, and I know what the problem is, but it like I said, I'm trying to get better at it. So, hello, Leo, how are you? Thanks for coming into the chat, homie. So I'm trying, I'm trying to learn what people want to watch, what they don't want to watch, and it's not like there's a hey, don't make this and don't make that or make these and no, like you have to figure it out, and I haven't been lucky. Yeah, but then it's so what the thing is that not only the vlog, but so and then it's like what you're talking about. So the audience that I had, and I'm not complaining because I love my audience, but the audience I wound up with that subscribed to me are not the people that I was intending to make videos for. So when it happened the way it happened, I was like, okay, well, I'll just embrace this or whatever. So, but then I started to realize, okay, but they don't want to hear the videos. Like the videos that I was making are not what they want to watch. And you could tell that by, view counts and signal, engagement and stuff like that. So it's like, so, and then I started doing experimenting, trying to find out what is it that they want to watch. What videos do they, what videos do they enjoy watching more? But like I said, it's not like YouTube is like, tells you, hey, not this or do that. So it's been a struggle. Like I've been struggling, pulling my hair out, like trying to figure out, like, what is it that I'm not sure? What is it that they want to see? My audience wants to see. But then I think in the last 2 days, I think I come across something that told me what I needed to see. So I've been doing that and I've been vlogging today, but it takes time. Like it's not like a switch that I can just be, okay, now, so it takes time. So, but it's all in God's timing. Like if it hasn't happened yet, it's because it's not supposed to happen yet. So I'm waiting, but I vlog often. I vlog damn near every day. I'm recording something. Just sometimes, it's not enough to record my day. Like I have to make it be interesting, and I'm not a kid. Like so, sometimes I don't have shit going on during the day. That it's like, what do you do? It's like, what do you vlog? Thank you, Miss Vegas. So I don't know what to do. So, but yeah, that's what I'm leaning more into those, like, me doing that kind of stuff. Eva, oh my God. Hi. Are you okay? Like the last time we spoke, you were going through something and I haven't seen you in a while and I've been worried. I'm like, oh my, I was just telling Lexi not too long ago, like, I hope that you're okay. Like, I'm trying. So, I mean, if that's what you like, if those are the type of videos that you like, me just going through my day and doing my stuff, I mean, I don't have anything like exciting going on, like, but I mean, if those are the things you like, I would gladly make those. I love making those type of videos, but you know, sometimes I'm like, I don't, like I said, I never get a breakout video that's like, hey, this is what works, do that. So I struggle. Well, that's awesome. And I noticed that you changed your name, so that's great too. I can't wait to tell the girls that you were in the live today. So yeah, Miss Maya, if that's what if those are the ones, if those are the type of videos that are entertaining to you, yeah, I would love to. I would definitely keep doing those. Like those are the most fun to me. Like I hate, like feeling like I'm talking at you guys instead of with you guys. So literally today or yesterday's vlog and then today what I'm doing now, they're more of like actual vlog style, like day in the life type things and stuff. Like I like those. And then part of me, and tell me if I'm wrong, and feel free to be very honest with me, but part of me feels like, because Lexi's working and it's just me, sometimes I feel like people don't want to see a guy vlog. Like sometimes that goes through my head, and I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes it's like, this is a guy. Why is he vlogging? Like, who wants to see a guy vlog? But so I don't know. I guess that's just my insecurities talking. Yeah, luckily for me, I'm monetized, so I don't have to worry about that. But yes, it's not as hard as it sounds. If you're doing everything right, you'd be surprised how much watch hours you can get from one video. I mean, if you're struggling to get people to get views, then yeah, it's hard. But I mean, if you're doing the right things and you're making, good content and getting views, it's not as hard as it sounds. It's not as hard as it sounds. I mean, it sounds, oh my god, 8,000, but it's really not that hard. Like if you have I have I have 4,000 videos. I have 200 long like vlogs on my channel. I have 200 over 200 vlogs on my channel. Five of them gave me over 4,000 views. I mean 4,000 watch hours. Just five of them. So like it's not as hard, and like people are screaming all over the internet. And I know you hear it, and it's like, but I mean, if you're getting views, then it's not as hard as it sounds. Now, if you're not getting views, then that's not don't even worry about the 8,000. Worry about getting views. And once you figure that out, like it really is not as hard as it sounds. It really isn't. But I mean, I can understand why, it sounds like, it looks terrifying as hell. You'd be like, damn, bro, like it done doubled the watch hours now, but it's not as hard as it sounds. Once you have a few videos take off, like it goes by quick. Well, and that's the thing is that, is that the videos that I feel like brought a lot of my subscribers in were because I was broke, I was homeless, like we were living in a hotel on the verge of sleeping in the car, like so all of those videos, yeah, those videos took off. They've got thousands of views, but once that stopped, once once that stopped, once I not became homeless anymore, I am broke. Like my views started going downhill. Thank you, Eva. That means a lot. That means a lot. I try to put so much work into my vlogs, and thank you. So, but I'm not giving up. Like I said, I revamped some things. I'm learning. I'm not making any excuses. I'm learning, trying to figure this out, trying to get better, trying to tell better stories, and I'm learning. And I appreciate all you guys for showing up. Oh, so that is how you came in. Yeah, like that's what it was. So and now we're moving. Now we're moving. We're going to a deluxe up. No, I'm just kidding. We're not. uh, we're upgrading apartments a little bit, but it's not. It ain't that. We ain't the Jeffersons. But yeah. So we actually, I was I got a video coming about an update for that. Like uh, so that's coming soon. Miss Eva has Mario. So, but thank you. You guys always make it, when I see one of you comment and with your encouragement and like it makes me feel like, okay, like this is why I'm doing this. Like this is, they do. They do. They do. And like I said, so for so long, for 2 years, like that was my story. Like we were living in somebody's house in a room, and then that sold and we wound up in a hotel, and that's where how that happened. And then our daughter, invited us to come stay with her, and then so we were in her garage for 4 months, and that's how that happened. And then once we moved in, so people were coming for that story arc. The views were coming for like, oh shit, like I want to see. Well, then once we got here, that I'm like, okay, now I'm not homeless anymore. and then once I got my VA approved, and now I have my benefits and stuff like that. And people are like, all right, well now he's a normal person, and like I said, literally my views took a nosedive. It was like, that's awesome, Ms. Eva. I'm glad. I'm glad you guys are awesome. I was so worried because, like I said, the last time we spoke, you said, man, I have something going on too, and then I didn't see you for a while. I was like, oh my God, like I hope. I was just telling Lexi like a week or two ago. I was like, man, I hope you guys are okay. So, but so do you guys like the vlogs, the day in a life type vlogs? That is that what you would prefer to see? The day in a life, and just the me doing everyday, going through my everyday stuff. Like, is that something that you would prefer to see, rather than me, like when I'm sharing an insight or something I have like, in my head or whatever? Like, I feel like those are interesting. It's just not everybody's into that. So, but if you tell me, the vlogs, the actual vlogs is what's the most, entertaining thing for you to watch for me, then I'll know, okay, I'll stick with that, and I'll only do those. And like I said, those are more fun. Okay, Ms. Eva. Thank you. Yeah, so I gladly. Those, like I said, those are more fun for me anyway. Like, I love those. I feel like when I'm sharing information or something like that, I feel like it takes my personality out of it, and I'm a big goofball. So, you know, okay. All right, Miss Maya. Got it. Well, those will be coming from now on. Nothing but those. So, like I said, those are the ones we like making the most. So we love that because we get to be us. And Lexi and I, like, we'll joke all the time that there should be a camera in the house just all the time, just a live feed into our house all the time, because do challenges. I have to think about that. Like, what are challenges that are age appropriate and that won't cause pain? Because there's Lexi and I are broken. Matter of fact, I gotta go to the hospital. Not the hospital. I gotta see my doctor because I think I have I think I'm getting arthritis in my wrist and hands and stuff. Like, it 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 hurts. Like, I don't know if you can tell how many times I've changed phone, like, hands with the phone, because holding the phone like starts to hurt my wrist after a few minutes. So, like, I was a wild child when I was a kid. Like I used to do. I was always injured, spraining my ankles and stuff like that when I was younger. And then I joined the army, and then I was a mechanic for 20 years. Like I did a bunch of things, and now my body is like, all right, dude, you need to slow down. Which is why it's hard for me to find a job now because starting over at the bottom and people are like, oh well, you got to be on your feet for 8 hours of the day and you be able to lift 60, 70 pounds. I'm like, I can't do that day in and day out. The aqua therapy in warm water. Okay, we'll help with that. All right. Oh, girl, I think we would wind up in a hospital trying to do that. Jumping? I can tell you right now, I don't think any of us could do that. Lexi wouldn't even try to do that. That's not something we would. Yeah, but I would look for some. I would look for something that we can do that, like I said, doesn't have a, might not, doesn't have an opportunity to send us uh, to the hospital. But I will find some stuff. Those also fun too. Hey, Miss Carolyn. Do a cooking challenge. Now, Miss Eva, it's crazy that you said that because there's some stuff that I want to learn how to make. Like, so I've been trying, because I'm trying to, I don't know how much you've been like caught up with Miss Eva with the vlogs and stuff, but like we're trying to get to Puerto Rico. So, and I mean, I'm Puerto Rican and I grew up in New York City, but we didn't have, like, my mom, I don't know why, but she wasn't really in touch with like the Puerto Rican culture, the heritage. Like, so, she didn't teach us Spanish. There was things that she didn't do and stuff like that. So I never got exposed to it a lot when I was a kid, which is why I don't speak Spanish now. There's a whole bunch of crap that I don't do and eat and stuff like that. Where my brother Mike, his father was Puerto Rican and his grandmother didn't even speak English. So he had no choice but to learn. And he was always, around that environment. Hey, Miss Carolyn. I said, hey. I said, hey, the first time. I'm sorry if you didn't hear me. Hey. How you doing? So I didn't learn. But now, being that we go in there, like, I don't want to be just, and excuse my French, because I'm not saying this to be derogatory, but I don't want to be another gringo going there, like, I want to learn. I want to feel like I belong there. I want to feel like, I'm part of the culture. Like, I want to learn. So one of the things I want to do is cook my own panis for the first time. And then I want to make either a flan or a, you don't have to be sorry, Miss Carolyn. You don't have to be sorry. If you didn't hear me, I do apologize, but I try not to, I try to address everybody when I see them, but I'm sorry if you didn't hear me, but you don't have to apologize. Welcome back in, because you were here earlier, right? And then, oh, you have a restaurant? I don't remember you saying that. You have a restaurant in PR? Awesome. I might have, I got cut on for head, huh? Okay. All right, Miss Eva. Hell yeah. So, but I want to. How do you say a trembleque? Trembleque? I want to learn how to do that, and not because I've ever had it. I've never had it, but I want to learn how to do it. Trembleque, trembleque, something like that. I want. I wish Lexi was here. She could correct me, but Miss Carolyn, where are you in the country? What state, if you don't mind sharing? What state or where are you at in the country? Tembleque, yeah, that. You, yes, Ms. Eva, that. That's what I want to learn how to do. Ms. Maya, like, it's crazy that you say that because literally right before I learned that I could do this live, I again, like, social media doesn't come what people see and pick up. Like, I usually learn like 7 months later. But anyway, I was saying, I was like, why do I struggle with every time I want to make content, I feel like I gotta make it and create it myself, like, from beginning. And I see a lot of creators that do like reactions to other people's videos and stuff like that. And I was like, oh, well, I could do that too. Like, I can learn. So again, I'm learning. Like, I know if you looked at like the amount of content I had on my channel, you'd think I know all this already, but I don't. Like, it's not. I don't know what flag that is. But welcome. Sorry, I'm probably ignorant for not knowing, but I don't know what flag that is. So I know it probably seemed like I should know all this, but I'm not I'm not I'm not a social media expert like that. So, like, everything I'm literally just like learning. Everything I've learned from my daughter. Like, she teaches me stuff. Like she sees it. She's like, people do this all the time, and I'm like, really? And she's like, yeah. Like, don't you watch? And then that's another thing, is that I really don't consume social media. Like, I'm not. Like, I'm always too busy concerned, like, telling my next story, getting the next video out, that I'm either editing, vlogging, or um uh planning a vlog. And so I'm never, like, I don't watch TV. I don't keep track with none of that. So and that's probably why it's a struggle to me, because I don't get it. But I'm learning. I'm learning. I'm trying. I just I really enjoy telling stories. I really enjoy, like, sharing, my life. And when I vlog, I feel like I'm hanging with you guys, or I feel like when I put it out, you guys are hanging with me, and that's what I love about it the most. So, but most of my feed, like, I would love to watch more vlogs, but for whatever reason, no matter how many vlogs I watch, it never populates my feed. Like, I get a bunch of self-help YouTube, how to grow on YouTube, how to get views, that type of stuff. Awesome. So, but that's what I'm doing. So that's what like I said, I'm vlogging today. I've been vlogging all day, and so I can't wait to get this one out, because it's a new vibe, it's a new vision of what, it's still me, it's still, same thing, but how I'm gonna title them, and the thumbnails and stuff like that are gonna be different. I learned more of how to specifically title a vlog, and what imagery to use for vlogs. Hey, Miss Ginger, everything is great. Lexi, she was here for lunch. She left out at 1 o'clock because she had to go back to work. But she's great. Like, as a matter of fact, you're gonna see a little bit of her, because she also, one, I don't know how much of the conversation you were listening to, but she also was, we were discussing how she's like, I know I work, but she's like, I want to find ways to contribute to the vlogs and stuff like that. So she started doing little things in the morning as she's getting ready for work, that she was like, hey, throw this in the vlog, just to, and she'll do a voiceover and stuff like that, and whatever. So, like, we're trying to, make this a thing, like I said, for you guys, because we love you guys. You guys have been rocking with us for a while now, and so we want to be here. We want to be here for you guys, and we want you guys to see the journey, and take you guys along for the ride. So, but it's going great, Miss Ginger. I mean, it could always be better, but it could always be worse too. So, we're just grateful for where we're at the moment, and we're being grateful while asking God for more. So that's the best we can do. That's funny, Miss Maya. But so yeah, but like I said, she'll be you'll see more of her, because like I said, we really want to get to the point. We want, and I'm sure a lot of a lot of you feel the same way. We the crazy thing is, and I'm gonna get a little preachy for a second, but the crazy thing is that you know I built my life. I'm 47 now, and I built my life the way I was always told to. Like you grow up, you finish school, you get a good job, you be loyal, you work your ass off, grow within the company, and then buy a house, do these things, and then you retire, and then you're good. Well, then somewhere along the line, like somebody changed the rules, and then I got laid off, and then after I got laid off, it was like I couldn't find a job. I haven't been able to find a job since then. And the crazy thing is that I hand in my resume, right? And somebody asked me, well, where's the rest of your work history? And I'm like, what do you mean? And like, so you've only worked at this one place? And I'm like, look how long I was there. I was there 17 years. I was there almost 2 decades. And they're like, okay. And I'm like, dude, I'm only at the time, I'm 47 now. So at the time, like, I'm only 44, dude. I'm only 45. Like, what are you saying? I started this job when I was 26 after I left the military. I'm like, what are you saying? And my loyalty to one company is, people are like, that looks weird now. I'm like 20 years ago that wouldn't have looked weird. 30 years ago that wouldn't have looked weird. Now it looks weird to people. You've only been one company. I'm like, yeah, like I was making good damn money at that company. Why would I have left? Like I built a life off that company. Why would I have left? But now, and I go to people like, well, how much money did you make in your last company? I'm like, why does that matter? And they're like, okay, but how much you make? And I tell them, and they're like, well, I can't pay you that. I'm like, I'm not asking you to pay me that. I saw your ad that said you were paying this much. I applied because I was okay with that. Like, but yeah, that's what I get. So I just got denied for like a week ago for a job. Like it's like I'm like, all right, well, like I said, I'm what you call economically retired. So luckily, I'm monetized, so I make a little money off my channel, and I have my benefits from VA for being a vet, so that helps. So we're able to pay the bills. But I'm like, yeah, it's not, Ms. Maya. Like I'm telling you, like I hand in my resume, and people that don't even have as much experience doing what I'm doing, and I'm like, uh, where's the rest of your resume? I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, that's my whole resume. And then they're like, well, where's the rest of your work history? I'm like, did you even read my resume? Like, did you even read it? I'm like, look at the times, look at the years that I was there at that company. I joined the military at 21. I left at 26. And at 26, I started at the company. I was there for 17 years, up to 44. And then, or 44, whatever age, my mid 40s. I'm like, until I got laid off. I'm like, I don't know how old you think I am, but I'm like, why would I have left? I was making over six figures. Like, why would I have left? Um, that's what I get. I'm like, well, why do you want to? You were a district manager at your last company. Why do you want to do this? I'm like, well, I gotta pay the bills somehow. Like, your position wasn't hiring, so I couldn't apply for that. Like, I'm like, I don't know what you want me to say. Like, but literally, and then I've had people tell me, oh, why don't you go, why don't you take anything? Why don't you go to McDonald's? I'm like, you can't walk into McDonald's, having made 100 grand a year in your last job, and then tell them you're going to be okay making $15 an hour. Nobody's going to hire you like that. Like, they're going to tell you, like, they're like, the moment, because they know the moment, a good manager is going to know the moment you have an opportunity that comes along that's going to pay you what you're worth and what you want, you're going to leave. And they'll be right. I didn't hire people like that in my last career because of that same reason. I'm like, dude, this guy's used to making $30 an hour. Like, the moment something comes along, he's gone. Like, right. That right. Right. And they'll say I'm overqualified, which is what I get told all the time. Thank you, Miss Ginger. I do believe that. Sometimes I just think that at a certain point you just have to say, okay, it's time to do something different. It's time to look at something different because you can't go back to your old life. And the price of your old life is the price of your new life is your old life. And that's what I keep telling myself. Like, I tried for months, years to go back to doing what I was doing, to get back in, and nobody will take me. So I'm like, I have to do something. Like I said, I started my YouTube channel. I started, one of the things I did in my last company was I was a coach. I taught people how to lead and run their businesses and stuff like that. Like, that's what I did at my last job. So I figured, okay, well, I have years of experience doing that. Why don't I just offer that on my own? So that's something that I'm doing. And then, luckily, like I said, I have my benefits to hold me over until, something happens. But no, and they don't care about the rest of us, Ms. Maya. They don't give a damn. I don't give a. I was just reading here in Fayetteville, there was another company closing with 80 people losing their jobs. Like, they don't give a damn. Yeah, exactly. And that's what to both, Ms. Maya, exactly. Like, they don't want to hear that. And Ms. Eva, yeah. So that's what like I said, that's what I'm trying to do. But those things takes time. Like, people don't know who I am and what I stand for and what I believe in and stuff like that. So it's about, when I was a district manager and I had my 10 store managers with all of their employees, like, they knew the role was already explained. It was explicit. They knew they had to listen to me because I was their boss. Like, that was it. Well, outside of that, nobody out here knows who I am. So, like, I have to build that. So people, one of the things that I thought would be unique was that what if I show somebody how to do it while I'm doing it? But people don't want that. Like, people want to see receipts. They don't believe you unless you can show them that this is what I have. Even if you're telling them past tense, well, this is what I did, this is what I did. But I thought it would be unique if I show you doing it. If I show you while I'm doing it, that would give you more of an insight of how to do it. But I don't feel like people want to see that. Like, those type of content that I put out, and not just on YouTube, but TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, like, none of those do well at all. People don't want to hear that. And part of it is because there's so many people who are doing that who are phony that, that I guess it's like shouting, standing in a crowded room trying to be heard, and people are fed up about it. I mean, that's just my take. That's just, but I try. So yeah, exactly. Like I said, you need receipts. You need something to be like, look, see, like, maybe I should have did this in the middle of my height while I was doing it, but I didn't, I never thought that I'd be without that job. Like, I was there for so long that I'm like, that's what I did for years. And, you know, so like I said, at a certain point, you just have to be like, well, it's time to try something else and do something else. And that's what I do. It gets frustrating, when I get the odd comment is like, Well, why aren't you working? Why is your wife working and you're not working? I'm like, you know, sometimes sometimes I eat it and just whatever, but sometimes it gets, I'm not gonna lie, it gets under my skin. It's like, you know, now you're questioning my worth as a man, and that pisses me off. So yeah, side hustles are good. You have to. Nowadays, nowadays, unless you're one of the lucky few, I think it's almost necessary to look for a side hustle. I went through a lot, growing up with, childhood trauma and PTSD and stuff like that. And so I chose content creation because I was told, these things, telling your story would be beneficial for someone. So that's why I chose it. So that's why I chose content creation. Thank you. That's what I do. And like I said, I try to ignore them, but sometimes, I'm only human, so sometimes it gets under my skin. Like, ugh, you know, I'm like, you don't see the work. You think, oh, I'm just putting out videos. Like, people don't realize how hard it is to do social media, how hard it is to make content for YouTube. Like, it's not. It's not as simple as just talking into a camera and throwing up a video and being like, all right, millions of views now. Like, it's not that hard. Like, this is the hardest thing I've ever done for work, anyway. This is the hardest thing I've ever done for work. So, and just like any job, you start at the bottom and you have to work your way up, right? That's what I did at my last career. I work. So I don't think I've ever told you, ladies, where I worked, and I'm about to tell you. And the reason why is because the brand has such a bad rap all over the place that I try not to get into it. But I worked for I worked for Jiffy Lube for 17 years, the oil chain spot. No, it's not. It's not enough. It's not enough. It's not enough. But yeah, that's where I worked for 17 years. And for the first, I don't know, 15 years, 13, 14 years, I loved it. I loved it. I loved what I did. And not the change in oil part, but the leading, the coaching, the teaching, the mentoring, like I love that. That was something that made me excited to go to work every day. And I got tired of the oil changing. I got tired of the actual business. But the teaching and the mentoring, and that's why I thought Jiffy Lube didn't go out of business. The franchise I was with sold. And then it got bought out by another franchise. Well, those guys were twice as big as we were. And they came in with all their people and started moving stuff around and stuff like that. And obviously, things changed and whatever, but they came in. So like, okay, so so I worked for Lucor, Lucor, for all that time, for 17 years. And I was on the verge. I was one of the best for every year. I was one of the best. I was district manager of the year several times. I was general manager of the year several times. I was one of the best, and I was looking to get promoted. But here's what working taught me. Working taught me that it's much easier, it's much better to be liked than it is to be good at your job. So no matter how good I was at my job, there were two promotions that came up, and I didn't get them, despite my performance, my numbers being much better. And I know that because we had rewards. We had a reward, events every quarter, so you can see who's always getting rewards and who's not. So, uh, in November of 2022, I'm riding with my boss, and I find out that he's like, "Hey, there's gonna be another position opening here out east, East North Carolina, and And he's like, that one, that's you all day, like that's specifically for you. So I'm like, bet. Well, then that was the mid-November, and then December of 2022, they had a conference call at 3 o'clock on a Friday and told us that Wednesday the company was officially sold, and we were gonna have a new franchise, be under a new franchise and everything. And those people came up with, like I said, their own people and everything. And everything I had worked for all that time just went to zero. That was it. And then, like I said, in 6 months, I talked to my new boss. He offered me 75,000 a year and try to make it sound like he was doing me a favor, which essentially was $30,000 less than I made already. And then, like, that was it. That 6 months later, they were making structural changes and stuff like that, and I got laid off. It depends. You're in Jersey. They're not as big in Jersey. I know there's some in Jersey. There's some. I used to work with for one in Jersey. Well, I mean, damn, this was 14 years ago now, so I don't know if they're still around. But they weren't. There weren't many. There's not many Jiffy Lubes up north. Most of them are like in the south. Exactly. Exactly. It's not who you know, what you know, and it's who you know, not what you know. Exactly. So that happened. So I got laid off, and that was it. That was July 23rd, 2023. And the shitty part was is that the company knew the company made the decision to sell in February of 2022, and they didn't tell us until 3 days before it sold in December of 2022. Yeah, there's some up there, Jiffy Lubes, and yeah, because my franchise used to be in Pennsylvania, in Pittsburgh, I think. I think in Pittsburgh. Almeida, its mom. Not sure what you mean, but so yeah, there's some up there. They're just not as popular. Like here in Fayetteville, there's like five of them in just Fayetteville, and Fayetteville's not big. There's five here, so but yeah, and so that's what happened. And that was it. So, and then, like I said, I've been applying ever since. And the crazy part is that people tell you like, if you need a 9 to 5, people tell you, oh, don't give up, keep pushing, keep searching, keep applying, da 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 da. But when you start your own business, if it doesn't pop off in 2 months, people are like, well, maybe you should do something different. It's like, why is it okay for me to go work for somebody else and keep begging for a job versus me, struggling to do my own thing? In Allentown, Pennsylvania, no, I don't know if there's one, but I bet the franchise is called PVA. Oh, it's always yeah. Most people, I hear that all the time. They're like, "Oh, why don't you just get a job?" Oh, yeah. Like I didn't think of that. So, I like I said, most of the I just ignore people like that. Like I'm like, whatever. Or you get advice from somebody who hasn't looked for a job in 25 years. Is like, then why don't you just? When was the last time you looked for a job, Boomer? Like, when was the last time you looked for a job? Because I promise you, it ain't the same. I promise you, it ain't the same. It ain't the same 17 years ago when I was looking for a job. It ain't the same now. Right. And the job has to pay the bills. Right. And then, like I said, I'm not a spring chicken anymore, man. I'm not old, and I know sometimes I talk like that, but I'm not old. But I'm not a spring chicken anymore, man. I'm 47. I have limitations. Like I blew my back out in the military. My knees are gone. My ankles hurt. Like I'm getting arthritis in my wrist. Like I can't stand. I can't stand behind a counter for 8 hours. I can't lift 60, 70 pounds throughout the day, all day long, every day. I can't do it. Like when I first left Jiffy Lube, I landed a job at Food Lion here in North Carolina, and which is a supermarket if you don't know. And I got an assistant manager's job, which and it paid decent. It was like 65 grand a year. I was like okay with that. Versus nothing, right? Versus 0 grand a year. So 65 was okay. And then so they put me to tail around this brand new assistant manager who was half my age. Like this guy was like 22 years old. And he's literally running around, zipping around the whole supermarket. And Food Lion is a pretty decent sized supermarket. And he's running around, zipping around. And I'm like, dude, like you don't sit down, like you don't take a break, like you're running every minute. I was like, bro, I can't do this. Like I can't do it. Like I'm by 2 o'clock in the afternoon, like I'm in serious pain. Like I'm like to the verge, I'm in tears. Like I'm like, bro, I need to sit. Like, and he's like, oh man, and I just try to be involved. And I get it. Like he's up and coming. Like he's, trying to prove himself. He's still young. He's got energy and stuff. I'm like, dude, I'm 45 years old, man. Like I can't do this, after I can't do this anymore. And I wound up getting laid off like that because they're like, on my third day, I had to call out. I was in so much pain. I'm like, bro, like this guy is running from 7 o'clock in the morning until 5 in the evening. And I'm like, I can't keep up with you. So I wound up getting laid off. Like they're like, oh, we're gonna, I'm like, bro, like, I'm not saying I need to sit behind a desk all day, which wouldn't feel good either. But I'm like, bro, like we don't take a break and sit down for a few minutes, get off, like, yeah. So it was horrible. It's been a struggle. Right. Oh yeah. Yeah. I'm sure he was getting paid much less than me. And they were reluctant to give me the job again because of how much money I used to make at my last job. They're like, you want to be an assistant manager here? You were a district manager. Like, how's that gonna work? And again, I'm like, dude, like I need to pay my bills. Like, I don't know, I don't know what you like. Why am I being punished because of the level I reached at my last job? Like, but yeah, man, like it's hard. Like it's so like I said, man, at some point you just gotta, what, I'm just gonna go off on my own and instead of begging you for a job, like, you know, I'm not the type of 9 to 5 person to begin with. Like I'm not like I know this is gonna sound crazy, but I've never met the person that I thought should be my boss. Like I was always that's how just ignorant I was. Like I've always been like that. And the reason why I lasted so long at Jiffy Lube is because I saw my boss once a week for an hour. Like that was the limit that had around my boss. As a district manager, I was always on the road. I had 10 stores. They were spread out all over Eastern North Carolina. So I was constantly on the go. I didn't have somebody hovering over me, do this, watching everything I did. Like as long as my numbers were good and nothing drastic happened, like I never heard from my boss. And like I said, Monday morning around 1 o'clock, we would have a meeting for about an hour, and that was it. I didn't see my boss for the rest of the week. Yeah, that 22-year-old probably does live at home with his mom. And yeah, I don't even like the word boss. Exactly. Like I'm not that type of person. I've never been that. I've never liked somebody having control of me. Like I've just never liked it. Call it what you want it, but I've just never been okay with that. Like I'm like, tell me what you need me to do, show me how to do it, and leave me alone. Like I go like, and that's what I did at Jiffy Lube. Like I said, I traveled about 250 miles a day for work, and not all at once, obviously, but I'm like I'm like, I didn't see my boss seldomly. Right. And that's what I'm trying to do. Because there's freedom in being an entrepreneur. Like I work when I want to. And don't get me wrong, because people hear that and they feel like it, like being an entrepreneur is hard. Like this YouTube stuff, this entrepreneur, like I work 18 hours a day from 7 o'clock in the morning to about 10 o'clock at night. Like I'm doing something to try to move the needle. I'm either vlogging, editing, planning a vlog, or putting out content for all the other social medias. Like I'm, and by the way, if you guys are on any other platforms, hit me up, look me up. If you're there already, I'm saying like look me up. I'll link it or I'll put a post up, or if you want, let me see. I don't know how I can do that here. Um, I don't know how to do this. Uh, uh, but it's Coach C, Coach underscore CEE 47. Pick a platform. That's my name. So if you guys are already on other platforms, look me up, hit the follow button. I'd greatly appreciate it. But anyway, so yeah, so I'm doing all of that stuff. Like I'm working my ass off. I just, the money hasn't caught up to it yet. But again, you got to start somewhere. Like you got to start somewhere. You got to pay your dues. And, I'm okay with that. Like, so between just on YouTube, between long form and short form and lives, there's over 800 pieces of content on my channel. Like, so working is not the issue, but you got to work the right way. So, and like I said, it's not as easy as just recording and uploading the video and be like, oh, I'm done. Like, you have to make strangers want to care about your content. So, that's the part I'm learning, how to package it right, how to, present it correctly. Like that's something that I'm learning now that I didn't learn back then. I mean, I got it's hard. It's content creation is hard. It's hard. Like I said, like it's not as easy as just throwing up, hit record and it's hard. It's harder than it looks. I assure you. And some people have advantages. Some people are extremely good looking. You know, if you're good looking, that helps. If you're rich, that helps. If you're, you got, and I hate to say it like this, but it's the truth. If you've got like, if you're sick or have some kind of deformity, like that helps. People get, people like that attracts attention. If you have a particular lifestyle, that helps. Like, but if you're a normal person, like you have to have something that makes people want to come into the video. And, you know, I so I can, Miss Eva, but then the problem is, and here's my struggle. So the problem is that I make some videos, and then it attracts the wrong people that think, oh well, he's a dog channel, and then those people subscribe, and then when I don't make those, now I don't get views. I don't get the views, and then it looks bad altogether. It's like, okay, well, these people are subscribed and he made content that they don't care about. So let's not, like that's how finicky it is. Now, when you're bigger, and you guys probably seen this because that's what YouTube caters to. When you're bigger and you have a few 100,000 subscribers, when you have 1 million subscribers, you literally put out what you want, because if you heard of Mr. Beast, 500 million subscribers, he literally put out what he wants. Like there's enough people that they're going to watch his content. But when you're starting out, it's you can't do that because like you're trying to tell the system and you're trying to tell people who you are and what you do. And if you put up different types of content, then it just confuses everything. Right. All these women with 7 or 8 kids, like, I mean, we've seen it. Like you see women with that. There's these one I don't know if they're on YouTube, but I see them on Facebook and TikTok. This is one created couples that create. They're Hispanic, and like she's always like dressing like really raunchy and half naked and stuff, and like, and I mean, doing stuff that I know damn well women don't do dressed like that, like frying chicken. Like you half naked, got all that skin exposed, and you frying chicken. Like, so that tells me like you're doing that just because of the content, but because men are so like we're so like, oh yeah, we'll take any cheap throw we can get, like that gets hundreds of thousands of views, and then there's guys that good looking men that they're tall and dark and have six packs and ripped chest and all that, and they walk around constantly without their shirt on or half naked themselves, and that gets attention. It's like, so yeah, if you're good looking and stuff like that, and you have like some kind of thing, which I'm not mad at you. Use what you have, but I'm like, well, I'm not that. I'm short, fat, and old. Like, so I don't have that to my advantage. You just have to like my personality. So, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, there's all sorts of things that people use and do and stuff. I mean, more power to you, but what happens when you don't have that? Like, so, and people do use their dogs where dog is in their lap all day, and people are like, oh my god, people do that. My where my dog is at? She ain't trying to hear anything I'm saying. Like I said, I literally came and sat next to her on this couch when I turned the camera on, and she was like, I don't want to be a part of that. I'm leaving, and that's where she's at. So I tried that. She wasn't having it. And then, like I said, I thought, having Lexi, being a couple, I thought that would be, but Lexi's not into vlogging like I am. Like she's not. She'll do it, and she has her moments, but it's not something that she's like, oh yeah, grab the camera, let's go. That's not her. Right? Yeah, they use all sorts of stuff that I'm like. So again, what happens when you don't have that? Like all I had to offer was my experience as a leader to teaching people how to do that. But the problem is again that you need receipts. You need to be in a position like you can't tell somebody how to be rich if you're not rich. Like who's gonna listen to you? Like who's gonna listen to you? You're like, well, this is how you become rich. Trust me, I was rich 5 years ago. Nobody's gonna, and now you're living in a 1 bedroom apartment. Nobody ain't gonna pay attention to you. So that's what I run into. It's like I have over almost 20 years of leadership experience, but I'm not doing that right now, and I'm starting over. And people don't want to hear. Well, I was laid off. That's why I'm starting over. But people don't want to hear that. They're like, oh well, look, you talking about this and how much money you made and this and that. And you live in a 1 bedroom apartment, like struggling right now. And people don't want to hear that. Yeah, yeah. There's all sorts of stuff. That's also I don't want to call them gimmicks because that would be disrespectful. But there's all sorts of stuff that people use as a means to attract attention that to get you in the door. There's this one lady, and again, I say this respectfully, but there's this one lady on TikTok. I don't know if she still does content, but and forgive me because I don't know how else to describe this, so I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but she literally looked like a walking skeleton. Like I don't, she was sick with something. I'm not sure what it was, but like that's what. And most of the time, she just sat there in the lives, like I barely heard her speak, but there was always hundreds of thousands of people in her lives. Like I'm like, so If you have something that that attracts attention real easy, some kind of something, then yeah, that works. So, but when you don't have that, that's why a lot of people use their babies. You see a lot of baby, people using their baby, their toddlers running around. People do it because people like that. I just I don't do that. I don't. The few times that I've put like my grandchildren on camera or whatever, like I don't show their faces. Like I make sure that I don't show their face because I don't want to exploit my grandchildren. So there's a bunch of stuff that I have going on or the family has going on that again, it's not my business to tell, so I don't share that kind of thing. I don't like, I keep people, vlogging in public is hard for me because I'm really big on people's privacy. Like I don't just walk around and, put my camera on people and stuff like that because I think it's disrespectful. There's a guy that on Vegas that I mean, excuse me, I don't know if I'm sure he goes to Vegas, but there's a guy, there's a bunch of people that do that, Ms. Eva, and I don't know how people gamble because that shit makes me sick to my stomach. I'm like, when I hear the numbers at the end, I'm like, bro, like, I'm like, so you go up $5,000, and then by the time you leave, you're in the whole $7,000. I'm like, so you went up, and then not only lost that, but then lost 7 grand more that you didn't come in with. Like, I'm like, nah, I can't do it. I can't do it. Lexi likes to gamble, and she plays on those little apps and stuff, and she's won a couple times, but I can't do it. Yeah, I don't like mukbangs either. I don't understand the enjoyment of watching somebody stuff their face. Like I don't get that. Yeah, Miss Eva, like what? Let me tell you something. If I go to the casino with $100 and I win $5, I'm out. Like that's it. I'm out. Like my son my son when he sold long story, but he had a property, he wound up selling it, and when we were living in Florida, he's like, come, like, let's go to the casino, the Seminole casino. And he's like, and I'm like, I don't gamble. And he's like, why? And I'm like, because I don't like losing money. And he's like, well, I'm gonna give you the money so that you can gamble. It'll be my money. I'm like, that doesn't make it better. Like that doesn't make it. The point is, I'm giving away money that's not guaranteed to win. Like I can't. I can't. I can't wrap my head around that. I'm like, you won all this money and you lost. Like Lexi used to tell me, like we had to have like set a rule. I'm like, she would tell me, oh babe, I won $200. I'm like, all right, cool. Like, and she's like, yeah, but I lost it. I'm like, you won $200 and you lost it. I'm like, why did you play the whole $200? Like, I can't do it. See now, yeah, definitely. And if I was your husband, if I was married, I'd have pulled you out of there. Like, no, we're leaving right now. We're not even coming back to this casino. Like, you tripled your money. Like, there's no way you were coming back. Like, I can't do it. And people were, oh, that means I can gamble more. Like, what? And even if you gambled more, so like, okay, so even if you gambled more, like you had to gamble the whole 15 grand. Like, exactly, Ms. Meyer. I can't do it. Oh, you went alone. I can't do it. Well, luckily you had the restraint enough to walk out of there with your dignity intact. Like, okay, I got 15 grand. Like, I can't do it. I'm like, you had to gamble the whole thing. Like, I could understand if you said, okay, I gambled 3 more grand, okay, but I'm walking out with 12. All right, cool. I'm like, you gambled the whole 15. Like, I just can't see it. Like, I ain't mad. That's right. Shit. Hell yeah, bills got paid. Oh yeah. That's a win in this economy. You were like, this thing, I didn't have to work for these bills this month. Like, it's crazy. I can't. Gambling, I betted one time in my life, and it was only because, and it was between me and a person, and it was only because I was 100% positive I was right. And I was. And I bet $100 that I didn't have. I mean, I had it, but I couldn't afford to just bet it. But I was 100% right. So I was like, bro, I bet you $100 I'll get you proof. And he did. I can't. Yeah, Ms. Maya, I can't. I can't do it. I've seen people, growing up in New York, I've seen people literally throw their lives away over gambling. Like, I can't. I don't understand how people do that shit. Like, that shit is so, I don't even want to like it. I don't even want to like it. Lexi put the gambling app on my phone, and I haven't played it. I'm like, I can't. Like, I just can't bring myself to do it. I can't bring myself to do it. So, but we're moving, guys. We're moving. I'm so excited. And one day I'm gonna say that to you, and it's gonna be to Puerto Rico. Hey, Miss Elaine. I mean, now that makes sense because I mean that makes sense, right? Like the potential ROI on that is like, so that makes much more sense, right? I'd rather take that money and invest it. Like if I'm gonna gamble, like that makes much more sense to me. Also, vlogging is my thing. I just haven't been doing it the way I'm supposed to be doing it. And I don't mean in the specific content, but I mean in the packaging. Like again, like part half the battle on YouTube when you're making actual videos and not just shorts is that you you have you have to come up with good titles, and you have to come up with a good thumbnail and stuff like that. And that's the part that's hard for me, that I've been struggling with. But I think I figured it out. Like I said, I had a conversation with somebody yesterday, and I think I finally understand it to where, so I tried to do it with yesterday's video, but I had already put it up a certain way, uploaded it a certain way, so it didn't do it. You can't, a test takes many videos. You can't do it. You can't decide on just one video. So it's gonna take for me to do it a few times for it to see if that's what it is. But I'm pretty sure that's what it is, because that's the one thing that I haven't been doing. You hit the lottery twice, Miss Elaine? Well, hell yeah. No, no, they don't. But unfortunately, I don't have a team to help me figure that out. I don't have a team. So I have to, you know, and titles. So the way it works is that every niche has its own specific language and framing of how you do a title. So even though I can make a video, but if I don't, if I title it some way, then it sounds like another type of video. That's a mismatch, and then so it doesn't get any views unless that title is so compelling that it makes people to click. But then if they expect one video and they get a, or even if even if the video is, even if the video is accurate to the, or the title is accurate to the video, if they're expecting one vibe and get another one, there are people who love vlogs. They only watch vlogs. Then there are people who fucking detest vlogs. Excuse my language. Like they detest vlogs. They'll watch anything but vlogs on YouTube. So again, if you signal one thing and they get another, or if the title is not accurate to the video, then it's a mismatch. And that's what I've been doing. Like, they've been mismatched. So if you go down my library of long form videos of vlogs and you look at the titles, like the titles sound like, even the vlogs sound like I'm giving information, like I'm teaching somebody something. And a lot of people don't want to be taught to. They want to watch, and my audience didn't come to be taught to. They came to be entertained, to to hang out, to vibe with me, to go through the journey and watch the journey with me. They're not here for me to teach them anything. So that creates a mismatch both in the viewer and in the algorithm. So, and that's what I've been doing, and not using specific language that are specific to vlogs. So when somebody watches it, they're like, "Oh, that's a vlog. Like, that's what that is. That's the vibe I'm gonna get from this video." Right. I mean, that makes sense, Miss Elaine. Thank you, Miss Elaine. I appreciate that. High five and fist bump to you. Can I ask you what video brought you in? Like, which what was the video that you found that brought you in, or asked you to got you to subscribe, so to speak? I mean, a lot of people like beer. They just like entertainment or whatever. And now the real question is, the real debate is, it's crazy what entertains some people. Like, now that's I get it. Like, some people want to be taught something, they want to learn something. Some people just want to be entertained, and there's nothing wrong with that. But it's crazy what entertains some people. Like, there's a creator I watched, a young man who lives in Florida, that I'm not gonna shout his name out because I don't even want to bring him attention. But um, he uh, he makes like really obnoxious content where he walks around and just starts like he starts like antagonizing people. Like, he'll bump into them and do crazy stuff. Like, and then he has this big guy for a bodyguard that, when somebody reacts, that guy steps in and whatever, and it's just really obnoxious. But he's got millions of subscribers, and it's just like that's the kind of thing that I'm like, how does that entertain you? Why do you think that's funny? But and the people that claim they're not entertained, they're still watching his videos, they're still commenting, even if it's to tell him how stupid he is. But you're still commenting, and that all of that helps him regardless of what you say. So it's like, it's just it's just crazy. But I don't know. Thank you, Miss Elaine. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, we agree. I don't. We don't do that. Yeah, me, Miss, my, yeah, we're not. I don't like that either. But yeah, Miss Elaine, we don't. I try to be. I try to be one of the. I tell you, I don't know who said it, but one of the best compliments I got on this channel was that somebody said, he's like, your content seems so authentic. It's just so real, and that's the point. Like, that's what I try to do. Like, I'm like, this is real life. Like, I don't try to look perfect. First of all, and forgive me if this is not your thing, but this it's mine. So I'm saying like this. God said that there's nobody perfect. God said there's nobody perfect. So why am I gonna try to present something a certain way when clearly my creator said that there's nobody like this? So if there's nobody like this, then I'm not gonna. Who's perfect? Like, I don't try to be perfect. I don't even bother with it. Like, whatever. My bed's not made today. Nope, it's not. Or at the moment I filmed a particular clip, there was dishes in the sink. Yep, because I ain't washed the dishes yet. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's people that portray a certain thing or like to show like their life is perfect, and and I can't do. First of all, that's a facade that you have to keep up, right? And I don't have the energy for that. Like, I don't have the energy for that. Like, I don't do that. Like, there are times that we wash clothes and the damn laundry sits in the bag for 3 days. Like, I don't got that. you know, braggadocious. I love, I love that word. I'm stealing it. Yeah, they are weird today. That like. I watched the piece of content that this dude was in Walmart or some type of supermarket, and he has a shopping cart, and he's purposely ramming his shopping cart into other people while they're shopping. Not the person, but the cart. He's ramming their cart and his cart into their cart while they're shopping. And one dude, I don't know if it was staged or not, but one dude got mad and he like picked him up and threw him into a trash can. And I was like, you think that I was like, why is this funny? And somebody commented, he was like, dude got thrown into a trash can. It's freaking hilarious. I'm like, that's what's wrong with the world. Like, yeah, like that's I don't know. I can't do that. Like if I'm broke, I'm broke. If I'm, if this is going on, this is going on. If I'm sad, I'm sad. Like, it's real life. And if you want to pretend that your life is so much better than mine, then so be it. But this is real life. Like, I don't have time to. I can't do that. I can't keep that up. Like, my memory isn't good enough to remember what the hell I said 2 days ago in the last vlog to keep up the facade. So I don't worry about doing that. I'm like, I drive a Kia. It's not a Lamborghini. It's a 12-year-old Kia. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it is like, so that's what. And I'm still not the type that would be flashy like that. Like, I'll never eat caviar. No matter how much money I have, I'll never own a Lamborghini. Like, I'll probably never have a 8-bedroom house. Like, for what? Like, I just, I don't need all that. Even if I had the money, like I'm, it doesn't excite me. You know what I mean? Like, I tell you what, being in this apartment was very humbling because I was when I lost my job, I had a 3-bedroom home about an hour and a half from here. We had, with almost 2 acres of land, it was a 3-bedroom home, like it was ours, like I owned the home. And when we first got into this apartment, like I was like, damn, like I'm, you know, I'm like, damn, I went from a 3-bedroom house to a 1-bedroom apartment. Like, but you know what? Like, I'm grateful. I'm grateful. Like, this apartment has shown me that I have everything I need. I have everything I need. I don't need more than this. I don't need more than this. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have to have a 3-bedroom house, the 2 cars, the picket fence. Like, I don't need all that to be happy. Like, I'm perfectly happy in this apartment. Now we're upgrading apartments because we needed one of our kids may need help in the future and we need to have the space just in case. But other than that, like we said it many times, like, if it wasn't for that, like we'd stay right here. Like, we're happy. We have everything we need. And by the grace of God, like I was able, my benefits came through this year and we were able to put a couch in here, put a table and stuff and make it feel like a home. So that's enough. Which is and it's crazy to me. It's crazy to me. It's crazy to me. First of all, I think that's gross. And not like because those two people are nasty. It's like, why do you want to date somebody that's twice your age? Like, that's going through things that you're not even you can't even comprehend yet because you're not there. And then from from the older person's side, like why would you want to date somebody half your age that it's not even on the same level mentally where you are, that's trying to do things that you've done already, or like you've done that, moved on, twice removed from that. And that, like, why would you? I don't know. I again, that's just crazy to me. But I feel like it's all spectacle. Like, I feel like it's all spectacles. Like, ooh, look at me. Like, and then you get offended when somebody says something about it. Like, I don't get it. But that's just That's just me. I don't get it. So that's why, like I said, I make the kind of content I make, and you know, somebody commented once. There's like your bedroom is messy. It's dirty. I'm like, first of all, it's not dirty. It's messy. There's a big difference. And I'm like, you're gonna sit here and tell me that your bedroom looks spotless every day of your life, every day of your life, like everything is in its place. I'm like, no, bro. Like FOH. Like, there's no way, bro. Like I'm not gonna pretend. Somebody comment, oh, you didn't make your bed? Nope, I didn't. It's 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I haven't made it's made today because I felt like I needed content, so I needed to record something. But other than that, like I'm like I get up, go about my day, and I'm like, does that make me a bad person because I didn't make my bed? Like, whatever. So I mean, that's just how I look at it. Like, like I did once. I did it once. But my bedroom it isn't it isn't so messy that could take a whole long video, you know what I mean? Like it's just me and Lexi. Like my bedroom being messy means that my pajamas are on the floor and the bed isn't made. And I need to pick up my water bottles from my side of the bed. Like that's it's never like my house is never so in disarray that I can make that a whole video. Like I've seen some of those videos that I'm like, bro, like, yeah, I'm like, you live like that? Like, wow. But yeah, I mean, it's just us, and we're really, I mean, when I say messy, it's like I'm saying, like, bed isn't made, my pajamas are on the floor, and the water bottles I was drinking last night right before I went to sleep are still on the floor. Like, that's it. So, but listen, ladies, I'm gonna get out of here because I gotta start figuring out what the hell I'm gonna cook for dinner for Lexi when she comes home. So I appreciate you rocking with me. I am definitely gonna do this way more often because this is so much easier than doing it the other way, the conventional way. So I love that you guys were here with me, and thank you so much. And I will catch you guys the next time.